I am Iron Man.
Hello there.
Avengers!
All right, welcome to episode 38 of Stars of Marvel. This episode, we're breaking down episodes 2, 3, and 4 of MCU's Secret Invasion.
Yeah.
Streaming on Disney Plus.
Disney Plus. So we already did episode 1.
We did episode 1. Yep.
Right. That's right. We did do episode 1. And so here's my thing. First of all, cat's out of the bag. Usually for these Disney Plus shows, we do episode by episode kind of recap / thoughts.
Yeah.
I feel like with this binge mode we have for this section, it's more of a just thoughts in general and
Yeah.
maybe some things here and there.
We
just
don't have
throwing
to-
that out there.
We don't have to break down every single each episode. Like,
Go watch a pro do that.
Yeah.
We're here to tell you our raw.
We're here to give
thoughts.
you our opinion.
Which actually, I'm gonna diverge us for a second.
Here we go.
I'm gonna
Here we
diverge
go.
us for a second because here's my opinion on something, and I think we need to talk about this, and we have, and I'm gonna bring it up again. So I was just at I was just at a bachelor party this past weekend, which was absolutely a blast, a lot of fun, and at some point, because I'm me, Marvel movies got brought up, right?
Mhm.
And people just automatically, oh, Marvel's horrible now, and we've talked about this before, but I just want to say this again. Guys, Marvel movies haven't really changed.
No.
You just don't want to watch them anymore.
Exactly.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
And
I mean-
I tried saying this in a group, and people are just like, nah, they're bad. They're just bad.
They're bad. They're terrible.
They're terrible. What are we doing? It's like, no.
No, it's just they've been out for it's been 15 years. of
Right.
this, you know what I
And,
mean? Like, you're gonna get bored of anything after 15 years.
and I totally look. I'm not saying there's not a lot. There's a lot of shit, and that's
Yeah.
why. And I'm not saying shit in a bad way. There's a lot of things to sort through.
It's oversaturated. Yeah.
It is oversaturated, and then so if you don't like it, that's fine. But
No,
you're
yeah.
wrong, and I hate.
But
you.
you're wrong, and your opinion sucks. And stop watching. No,
No, but my only thing I just like to get off my chest. I know I've said this. This is just like the post end game, like
yeah,
gosh, what's that called? Like the post
the clarity, like
yeah, the post clarity of like, do I want to keep watching these? And if you
Yeah.
don't, that's fine. But shut the fuck up.
But yeah, I get it because like I know we had talked about it on the first breakdown episode. I'll come out and say it. I'm not a huge fan of this.
I was just about to say all this to say Brendan hates the show.
I'm not a huge fan of Secret Invasion. I'll get into later why. It's not because of like the acting's amazing. I think the action's really good. Like all that type of stuff. You know, some of the characters are interesting and good. I just think it's right now. It's not the time or the place to be doing espionage show,
Which we talked about in episode 1 too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But don't get me wrong. I'm still full gung ho on the MCU. I'm excited to see what they have in the future. I just think right now it's not the time to be focusing on. This would have been better post Endgame. Like,
And I also think
one of
Marvel,
the original Disney Plus shows, like one of the first Disney Plus shows.
yeah,
or
like one of the first batch.
Or even maybe make this the Captain America, or maybe make this the plot of the Falcon and Winter Soldier show. You know, that they
Dude,
have to.
I was thinking about that. That
Yeah,
could have rocked.
because that could have because the villains in that
You
show
had
were so
Rhodey,
weak. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you could
Like
throw.
the
You could
the
throw
villain was
Fury
weak. Absolutely. Like
Yeah.
you could have made that one thing. You could have called that like I guess they could have even done this. They could have just called that Secret Invasion, and then at the end, like because
yeah.
you find out Falcon's Captain America, then
Yeah.
you call it Captain America, the Secret Invasion.
Yeah, exactly.
That could have been
yeah.
like I would have been sweet.
or even like midway through the season and like show that Anthony Mackie's now Captain America. And
I
like,
still think that would have been a good move in general for the show. But
yeah. That was.
I mean, it was
sort-
obvious they were doing what they're doing, but like
Now, I forget was because Secret Invasion is a 6-episode series.
Correct.
So
we only have 2. Yep.
we have 2 episodes left, and I feel like nothing has really happened
No,
for this to only
I
be
agree.
a 6-episode series.
So,
How many episodes was Falcon and Winter Soldier? Do you
pull it
remember?
up. I think I can pull it up real quick. I think it was 8 or 9.
Okay, I thought it was more than because when I saw 6, I was like, 6 episodes or on episode 4?
I think this is the shortest series so far.
Okay.
I
It sounds
believe.
about right. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not positive on that, but I'm pretty sure it's the shortest show so far.
This series has very Miss Marvel feeling to it, and also She-Hulk, where it's like, all right, we're this far into the season and we really haven't accomplished much. What's gonna happen? You know, how many were there?
Yeah, Falcon and the Winter Soldier was 6 episodes.
Really? Wow. It felt like more. I don't know.
Actually, it's Fago Moon.
Actually, it's fake. Really?
I love when we do our thing, and it's like, does someone catch it? Like,
yeah.
Which one of our friends is watching? Did they notice that or not at all? And it's like, what the hell are they talking about?
There's probably some random person in like Nebraska, like moon mist. What the? I thought we were talking about Secret Invasion.
Yeah, they don't even know it. Like, they don't even know it. Like our regular food, let alone a Fago moon mist.
That's pretty good.
So Secret Invasion.
Yeah.
Anyway, fuck you if you don't like Marvel. Anyway, that's you can use that as the catch. I've read it.
That's the clip for this.
Usually I veto any swears of that. No, use any of my swears in the first 5 minutes as I don't even care. So Secret Invasion, I think you nailed it so far, and we've talked about this, like time and a place. If this was the first thing after Endgame, like this would have been way more well received. I think it matters that we're doing this after so many things have happened, multiversal or microverse or whatever was going on, right? Like it's really going back to that Falcon and the Winter Soldier-esque style at a bad time.
Very spy espionage, like almost like Winter Soldier-esque feel, like where it's more to do with like the government rather than superheroes,
because it's funny. I was talking to my friend Jimmy this weekend, and we were talking about not phase 4. We were talking about the Disney Plus shows in general. And it was funny how I didn't disagree with, like, at the time when we got Loki, we got WandaVision, and we got Falcon and the Winter Soldier, you're like, oh, well, Falcon and the Winter Soldier is the worst one. But then like 3 years later now, you're like, it's still those 3.
Yeah.
It's just the top 3 of like 20 now. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
Like it's still a better show compared to other shows. And that's what I think Secret Invasion could have achieved that.
Yeah.
But it's missing core things. We talked about before. It's missing the Avengers. This is the Avengers should have been involved in this.
Yeah, this should have been in either like we were talking about earlier, either have Falcon and the Winter Soldier as this, or have it as like Avengers before Secret War or something like that. Have Avengers Secret Invasion and include the superheroes in this, not just Fury and Talos.
Correct. And I'm gonna say right now, full spoilers. For
full spoilers
for the series. Full spoilers.
Yep.
We're just doing thoughts. This is your only warning.
Wow.
So speaking of Talos, the episode 4 cliffhanger is that Talos is killed.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I'm fairly. So I haven't. Sorry, brain scatter. Episode 1 has been my least favorite episode so far. I've actually progressively liked the show more and more. When they introduced the and I like, it's fine, and you can tell me all the things you disagree with.
Yeah.
When they introduced like the stealthy, like, oh, here's the Super Scroll program. Oh, here's the powers they're going to be using. And then like the first time you see Extremis used, like all that stuff was cool.
That was pretty cool. Yeah.
And I liked what they've been doing with that. But Talos' death feels so empty because we've had
like Hill's episode. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Hill's death. Yeah. Like, yeah.
We keep getting deaths. Like, you can't kill everyone.
They're like completely going the opposite way now. Like, how like usually in Disney properties, like death doesn't mean anything. Like everybody just comes back to life.
Right.
Now they're like, nope, now we're killing people. We're killing people for, like, I mean, who knows? Talos might be alive, we'll see next episode, but
and that's exactly what I was going to say too, dude, is the last death we got was, I forget his daughter's name, but his daughter who you find out took Extremis and is fine.
Yeah.
So it's like, you can't, again, if you drop a death every episode, it's getting meaningless, and that like I was like numb to that. So like he dies, and I was like, I mean, A, is he dead? But like B, okay, like I actually really liked this episode until that moment. Very similar, like the first episode I didn't really like until Maria Hill's death. I just hated it after she died. But like this episode, I was quite, dude. You said it. The action in the car, that was awesome. The only CGI that happens is the scroll stuff. It was like real gunfire. The missile launches, like it was really refreshing, like fight.
And like this again, not that we're CGI sticklers, but like the CGI of like the helicopter crashing and like all that stuff, like it held up. Like it didn't look, and like I know majority of the scrolls are actual like prosthetics and stuff like that, like the actual makeup, but like the transitioning from human to scroll looks very smooth. Which I'll give them props for that.
Sorry. I agree. And like when Talos was dying and he was like half transitioning,
that was cool.
Awesome.
Yeah, that did look cool.
Really good. Like again, hair and makeup and CGI, I think is really well done in this show so far.
Yeah.
And they're using it sparingly, which is really well done. But then you have just there's these certain decisions that just don't work. Like, and it's the deaths. You don't have to kill everyone.
Yeah, no. They're, like I said, they're just, I feel like they're hearing people saying that death doesn't mean anything. And they're like, all right, well, now we'll just kill everybody. Oh, are you happy now, nerds? Like, one thing real quick, the super scroll thing, whatever they take, that like procedure, whatever the hell it is, that machine, whatever it is. Did you see the different things, like the different?
That's right. We haven't talked about it. The listed powers.
Yeah.
So it was Extremis,
Groot, one of the frost giants from Jotunheim, and Cull Obsidian, the dude from the Black Order.
He was one of the sons. Yeah. So
one of Thanos's guys.
So goons. Like going over those powers, I thought that was cool because you could almost match each one to a Fantastic Four member, which like I talked about before, is the comics, right? Super Scroll. Except Invisible Woman. Yeah, she doesn't really have a counterpart unless I don't know, maybe they pull that the Frost Giant has some kind of psycho telekinesis shit that we just didn't know about. Like, which
I could totally see them doing that. Yeah. And I mean, I wouldn't be okay. So real quick before I dig more deep into this, I think my thing is now that I'm talking about it, I don't hate this show.
Okay.
I just think it's, like I keep saying, it's not the right time.
Mm-hmm.
I think I would have liked the show so much more if it came out during the time of Falcon and Winter Soldier or WandaVision or Loki.
If this was pre-multiverse.
Exactly. This show. Because like Captain Marvel came out 4 years ago. So it's like now we have to remember all this shit from Captain. I mean, like, don't get me wrong, Captain Marvel was an alright movie. I wasn't the biggest fan because
alright is a good word.
Yeah, I wasn't a huge fan of the movie and just of the character in general because it's Superman. Like, she's invincible. Mm-hmm. Like, it's not fun. Like, I don't know. Needless, I'm spinning in a circle here, but I think I'm too harsh on the show in the beginning just because I was getting bored because there wasn't really much going on.
Mm-hmm.
And there's also things that are pissing me off. But we'll get into them as we get into more spoilers. So
sure. I think this show, depending on if they stick the landing, which is a major thing, like, right? This, like, that's the thing with these Disney shows is they either land or don't at all. Yeah. And if it sticks the landing, I think the rewatch of this is going to be fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
Because I don't think there's actually too many bad decisions in this. I think the main thing I've complained about so far, you can fix by making it a fucking movie. Yeah. Like, which we've talked, which is another thing we've talked about. Like this as a movie would have been better. And like the deaths wouldn't have been scattered week to week. You would have had it once. Like, it would have been more like, oh no, someone died. And you keep watching the movie. Like, I don't need the weekly cliffhanger. This isn't goddamn Game of Thrones. Like,
exactly, yeah.
Which, you know what? Also, side tangent. Here
we go, side tangent.
Side tangent. Valerie and I just finished season 2 of Game of Thrones. Did you watch Game of Thrones? I forget.
Yep.
Okay.
Mm.
You don't have to answer. You can laugh at me and make fun of me. I don't care. I don't get it. I don't get what you people liked in this show.
I get it. It took me. I think the show came out like in 2011. It took me 10 years, or not 10 years. It took me like 7 years to watch. I think I started watching like in 2018, like right before the series ended. So no, I get it. Like, yeah, like it's the thing about that. The thing about Game of Thrones is like you have to be paying attention. Like you can't. It's not a show where you can just like throw it on and kind of have it on in the background and keep glancing at it every once in a while, or like go on your phone. Like you, because there's so. I liked it, but like I also like if you miss
bored of shit sometimes.
Yeah. But if you miss like 1 second, you're like, all right, who is this guy? Who is he related to? How do I know? What, Targaryen, the Gardarian? Like what? Who the hell is this guy? You know, like there's so many like, and all their names sound the same too. So that was like always really confusing.
Yes. All the names sound the same. They all look the same except for like the hand. Tyrion, I think is his character's name.
Yeah.
It's just like I just don't like the season 1 finale was it was what's his name dying in the second to last episode, and then it's the dragons hatched in the last episode. I was like, that's pretty good, finale-esque stuff. The season was okay, but that was a good finale. The season 2 finale is the fat dude Sam is sitting there, and the army of zombies walk by, and he's like. And like I feel like you could just feel the moment being like, oh my god, there's zombies. Like, they've literally been talking about zombies the whole goddamn show
since the first episode. Yeah,
this isn't a surprise. Yeah,
I know.
Like, I knew this was coming.
That's why you're at this wall. Yeah,
that's right. Like, well, isn't that what the point of the whole wall was? What are we doing?
Keep the damn zombies out.
So I'm out. I had to get that off. I don't get why you people let the show go 7 seasons.
It gets so much better, and then it gets worse. And then it gets worse.
Yeah, right. Anyway, so back to Secret Invasion. But I think the reason I brought that in is like there is stuff in this show that actually isn't boring, and I think it does have moments of you have to pay attention, like when it shows you the superpowers that they're playing with in the episode, and then the next that was episode 2, and then it's not until episode 3 they say Super Scrolls, and then you see Extremis. Like I kind of liked that like sprinkle of hints to what's coming episode to episode. Like I'm curious what was in episode 4 that could lead us into episode 5. But again, it's just there is also the stretched out content, and if this was a movie, it would have just been so much more enjoyable. And I think that's just my biggest issue with this show in specific is and I know I've said this, Disney Plus can release movies. It defeats the purpose of the platform, but they
totally should do like MCU Disney Plus originals. Like Werewolf by Night. They did. I mean,
that's right. So do more of that.
Like just do like they totally could have done that with Secret Invasion, because they're not going to get a box office draw for like a standalone Nick Fury Secret Invasion movie. No, they wouldn't get it at the box office, but they totally get it at home. Like if they release that on Disney Plus, people would be like, oh, it's Friday night. Yeah, the new Marvel movie's on. Let's throw that on. But like, yeah. I know.
I don't know, dude. And I really like, okay, so something else. Like, so obviously, oh shit. What is the bad guy's name? Something with a G?
Oh, the bad scroll?
Like the bad scroll. Gary. Galvatorix?
No, Gavrich? Gavrich?
Grammix?
Gringotts? Gravix, I think.
No, I pulled it out here.
Gravix?
Graphics. That sounds right. The show is amazing. We can't remember the characters' names. No, what I was gonna say was, so like he's the bad Super Skrull, and we learned
his credit is just Rebel Scroll Leader. On it's like they didn't put his name.
They're like, we don't know. We weren't paying attention either.
Yeah.
So he's a Super Skrull. He's a bad guy.
Yeah.
They've clearly set up Tyrion, the Game of Thrones lady daughter.
Gaia. Yeah, Emilia.
Gaia. Yeah. She is also Super Scroll, we've learned in episode 4 she at least has Extremis, which
Yeah.
my guess is she has everything. Why
Probably,
wouldn't she?
yeah.
Why wouldn't you juice up if you're gonna juice
Yeah.
up? You know what I mean?
You're gonna juice up. You better be juicing up.
I'm only gonna be like Adam Divine. Just I'm not, no, but no, you're gonna go rock. You're gonna go rock juiced, right? My point is, I totally see she's gonna survive and be the like Avengers level Super Scroll now, right? Like she's gonna be the good guy they use. I could see her, dude. A cool use of her would be Thunderbolts. Like throw her in that rag team. Like you got to get some powers in that group, man. If there's no powers in that group,
it's just gonna be stupid. Yeah,
it's gonna be boring.
Yeah.
So something like that. I'm really cool. I really liked that the guy from the Black Order is one of those powers because that's the Hulk essentially, right? Like, assumably that's
pretty much what his
Hulk out at some point with that power. I do think it's weird they didn't just use Hulk's power, like
right? Yeah, like
that
they somehow got like Bruce, like because who was stealing? I mean, I guess it's the leader,
God,
but like
look, it could have been like any of that shit, but you could have connected it to She-Hulk.
It could have been, yeah, exactly. Like they could have been stealing the Hulk's blood to make super.
You could have said it was from Abomination, which is like that. Like I don't know. I mean,
I get Call Obsidian because they had the hand, like they showed the picture of like the hand, so like that makes sense. They picked it up from Wakanda or wherever.
I don't know. I think the Hulk still would have been a better choice.
Yeah, no,
it'll be cool. Like it'll still be cool.
Because there's also so many people that are probably like, who the fuck is Cole Obsidian? Like,
right, like, exactly. You're gonna recognize the Hulk. Is my point.
And like you're gonna know Groot. Like you see Groot's name, you're like, oh, okay, Groot.
Which we saw that power used in this episode, and that was awesome. That was
awesome.
really cool.
The tree vines come out. Yeah,
he fantastic forward him, but it was Groot's power, and it was really neat.
Put that together. Yeah.
It's the Mr. Fantastic
arm. Yeah,
grab and pull him up, and then he like human shield him. Again, that action scene was awesome. It was just so cool. Something else we found out. Again, we're very jumpy here, but like so, Rhodey. Oh, now let's hold up, Rhodey, Nick Fury's wife.
Oh yeah. One thing before we jump into that, just real quick.
Yeah.
Olivia Colman's character, the British lady, the spy British lady that like interrogates that guy. Such a wasted character. Like she's such a good actor.
She is giving her all in this, and
like such a waste because like she's in what, one episode. An episode and a half. Like
I think they're just not using her enough. Is like because she's a great character,
and she was marketed with the show so much.
Mm-hmm.
And
she's been in 2 episodes.
I think. for maybe a total of 5 minutes on screen. Like
5 to 10 minutes, something like that. Maybe, she definitely is very good. One of the better actors. I also wanted to get into that actually. Like she is having a fun time. You can see like how much she's
when
enjoying.
She was interrogating that guy and like
This episode, we have a scene where Nick Fury and Rhodey are talking, and we had a scene where they talked in episode 2 or 1, 2. I think. And in this latest scene, I literally paused it and I was like, are they supposed to not be acting correctly? Like because something's off, and I can't pin. And that might be the issue with the show in general, like being that it's Secret Invasion.
Yeah.
But like they were both not acting like Nick Fury and Rhodey. And it was like, is it bad acting or is it bad scroll acting?
Yeah.
Like, which bad acting is it? Is it on purpose or not?
Or is it by accident? Yeah.
Yeah. But like her character is just phenomenal. It's just a lot of fun. I enjoy it whenever her interrogation in the like freezer or whatever.
Was
awesome.
That was good. That was really good.
So much fun. I don't know what else.
What were you were about to say something? Oh, Fury's wife.
I thought that has been like a highlight of the show. I don't know if you disagree. I
don't hate it. I just was super confused because was that knowledge that we knew that Fury had a wife?
Okay. No. So that's what there's the joke in Winter Soldier that my wife kicked me out, but like we all were like, oh, he's just saying it's a
code word. Yeah.
Right. And like even the gimmick that his wedding ring stays in the house, right? Like he doesn't, but I think what his wife brings to the show in a good way is the stakes of what is wrong with Nick Fury, because they keep emphasizing it and it's a little too much, like to be honest, but her really drives it home because she really nails the head in the coffin. I think I just use like 4 analogies. She really brings it home because like she mourned him after the blip because he blipped and she didn't. And that's like sad. That's sad as shit.
Yeah.
But then he came back and he left. He was straight up left
off to space. And
we still don't really have a clarification on that. I'm guessing we're not going to get too much of a clarification on that.
Probably
but
not.
Like,
no.
But it to be honest though, like I didn't really care when Hill was like, "Why did you go? Why did you come back?" It's like, that's Fury. Let him do his thing. Yeah. Now when his wife sits there and is like, "Why did you go?" It's like, shit, yeah, dude, you were gone for 5 years.
Yeah,
and then you just left.
Yeah, you were just like, "All right, good to see you. I'm out." Like,
yeah, you think you might take a year off to hang with your wife?
Yeah,
mourned you.
I'm off to space.
And so I think again, I really like what she brings, especially now with episode 4, where she's been a double agent the whole time. The whole time she's been a double agent for the Skrulls, playing Nick Fury, and then of course she fell in love, and that was real kind of a thing, right? But like,
I love when I love when they shoot and he's like, "So does that mean we need to get a divorce or renew our vows?"
That was a great line. Yeah. It was. I audibly laughed at that. But it's just like to me that really, I like what that adds to the show and his character is this relationship with his wife. But again, if this was a movie, it would have been more condensed and it would have had more impact, like as things were happening. Like we didn't need to see her go to a bank vault to get a gun. You could just told me she had a gun. Like, you think Fury wouldn't give his wife a gun? In the house?
Exactly.
Like, what are we talking about here? So that's what, like, things like that are clearly like, what can draw out time? Oh, she has to go somewhere to get something. What are they gonna get? It's a gun. Oh no! Like that's the mark of the show being the show, as opposed to if we just had these heavy hitting moments scene to scene, it would just be so much more impactful.
Yeah.
And my last thought on that is, I just do think, again, like even as a show on rewatch, when we're like just remembering how things go, I think it's gonna be cool to be like, for instance, in episode 3, sorry, again, binged episode 2, when we see his wife at the end, right? The cliffhanger that she's in the kitchen.
Oh yeah. Yep.
So she's in her Skrull form. Here's the door open and changes into Priscilla.
Yeah.
And I remember I said, I was like, what if it's not actually his wife and it's someone pretending to be his wife, and that's why she's in human form?
Oh, but then she explained. Yeah.
She explains in this one. Yeah. He's never seen her Skrull form at home.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's like that's like heartbreaking. So on a rewatch where you see her transform in the kitchen, it's because she can't be herself in front of him.
Yeah.
Like that's actually sad as shit.
Yeah, I know, right? Like that's some deep feels right there.
It actually is. And that's what, like, some things in this show might not work, but I really think some things really work.
Yeah.
Like that.
And one thing that Fury said, I think it was the beginning of episode 2 when him and Talos are in the train, sort of like on like the deeper side of the show, when he was like, they were talking about like when he was telling the story about how him and his mom would take the train, and they have to sit in a colored car and all this stuff because it was segregation and everything. And then he's telling him kind of like how he did Captain America in Winter Soldier. Like he was kind of baiting him with a personal story to try to get him to open up. And then when he says, the line that hit me was, you think, he's like, ever since we've been standing on 2 feet, he said, we've been trying to kill each other. You think we're going to coexist with another species on this planet? I was like, damn, that was like, that's super, like, that
was a 1,000.
That is 1,000% what would happen if like aliens ever came to Earth. You know what I mean? Like, or ever like,
Yeah.
Like, we can't even live with ourselves. The same species. How could we invite and live peacefully with another species? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Well, like, so Val, I remember in that scene, or maybe it wasn't that scene, but it feels like it was. Val said something along the lines of to me. She was like, well, like, I mean, but Valhalla is on Earth, and I was like, yeah, Valhalla, they're basically humanoids. Like they
Yeah,
are humans.
they're human. Yeah.
Like they're not green reptiles.
No.
And
Yeah.
that's the Fury is 100% correct. But actually, that scene, I remember being like, oh, this is okay. They're kind of doing the Winter Soldier thing, blah blah blah. Like I was very like okay with it, but there's some things that got better and better. But then when Talos drops there's a million of us on Earth, that fucked me up.
What? Yeah.
A ninth of our population is Skrulls?
Skrulls, yeah.
Like that was actually really like I loved that turnaround because again, think about the flashback we see. I think it was episode 2 where young Fury is talking to the Skrull recruits about joining Shield and all that. Like in his mind, there was like 30 of them.
A couple.
Maybe like 50. Like
yeah.
Like there was a
million
size. Yeah, a million. Like to find out, again, you're the spy guy. You know everything. And your best friend, give or take, just goes, oh yeah, there's a million of us here.
Yeah.
A million. I can't even fathom a million.
And we're all hiding, looking exactly like all of you. So good luck finding us. Yeah.
I thought that, again, something I really enjoyed in the show.
But
like moment like that.
It was also, he was kind of like, how many are there? He's like, a million? You know, like he was kind of like
I actually, that was
a lot of us.
Tell me something I don't know. And like Taylor says the thing. It was like, I knew that, Taylor. Tell me something I don't know. There's a million of us.
What?
Like what? Oh man,
that was really good.
Yeah, I like that. I like that one a lot.
All right, so now on to pretty much the biggest spoiler, or the
still
biggest,
ongoing.
Yeah, still ongoing. The biggest biggest spoiler,
Question
but the biggest,
day.
The biggest thing in the show so far is Colonel James Rhodes, aka Rhodey, is now confirmed to be a Skrull. Now, my question, same question I had with Ross, is has he been a Skrull this entire time?
Yeah.
Or has he just recently become a Skrull? That's the one problem I have so far is they need to do like, I mean,
we need times.
We need to know when Rhodey was a Skrull and when he was not a Skrull, because there's no way he's been a Skrull this whole time. You know,
but like that's the thing though. Like, what if, man? Yeah. What if? Because so here's the thing. So I forget if we talked about it, but I definitely saw in a video there was an interview with the director. I think it was IGN, might have been New Rockstars themselves. I don't know. Someone interviewed the director of Secret Invasion. Okay. And they were like, oh, like a lot of people thought the Ross thing was cool, but we were curious if you could elaborate. Sorry, I'm like sneezing. We were curious if you could elaborate on how long Ross is supposed to have been a Skrull, or if that's the first time we've ever seen that. And the director's answer was just wait. Like literally, he was like, you're going to have to wait. So I assume based off of that, we're going to get some time clarifications.
Yeah, I have a feeling, I'm hoping one of these next episodes is going to be like a...
well, there's only 2.
Yeah. Well, one of these next 2 episodes is going to be maybe like a, you know, like how in... it won't be as like goofy, but like, you know how in like an Ant-Man, they have those quick... So I was down talking to Ernesto, and Ernesto would do it like almost like that, but like timeline of when these people were changed into Skrulls type thing.
No, yeah, we need a
good montage.
Like not composition? No, what
compilation?
Compilation. We need a good compilation. And second to last episode of a Disney Plus series, we usually get that. Falcon and the Winter Soldier, we get the Rocky montage, you know. WandaVision, we get the what happened to Wanda her whole life montage thing. So like this is actually episode 5 is the episode to do this. And then episode 6 we get some kind of giant awesome super Skrull battle. Like it is that time. So I do hope that does like come through as an actuality, because I agree. We absolutely need to know details, because here's the thing I've thought about. I think it was New Rockstars talked about there, like, oh, like it lessens Rhodey's involvement in Falcon and the Winter Soldier if it was a Skrull talking to Falcon instead of actually Colonel Rhodes. Yeah, I was like, okay, that's kind of fair. But the crazier thing is the idea of Tony Stark going through the events of the blip with a Skrull.
Yeah.
Because remember, Rhodey didn't blip. So that means that it would have been Skrull Rhodey the whole time there. Like we saw Rhodey in the Battle of Wakanda not blip. So they can't even make they can't pull Rhodey blipped and he took his place. No, that's not possible.
That's not what happened. Yeah.
That's not what happened. So I am curious when we've gotten Skrull Rhodey. I could see him being so in the comics of Secret Invasion, there is the Skrull Queen. It is the end all be all Skrull. And what happens is you find out that Spider-Woman has been a Skrull the longest.
Oh.
I feel like they're setting Rhodey up for that.
For it to be the Skrull.
For him to be the Skrull Queen. And
yet
looked like a female Skrull.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say too. It did look like a female Skrull. So yeah, I mean,
if they pull like I actually had like a laughable idea of like, what if they were like, it's been Rhodey since Iron Man 2.
I've heard like
it's like no one was like, huh,
I look
different. A little more than different, Rhodey.
Yeah. Well, because he had that line like, I look different. Let's get over it. Let's get past it. Like So I mean, could be.
I don't know. I thought that would be funny, but I am curious is she the Skrull Queen? I feel like that's what they're hinting at, and if it is, I think the longer the better. Fucking break my heart and tell me that. Tell me, dude, what if they did something ridiculous? Like Rhodey died at Civil War and the Skrull took over.
Dude, that's what I've been thinking. That because maybe he did die. Like maybe when they took him back to wherever. But like that also too, like how would they have switched the body out? Because I'm sure Tony Stark was around him the whole time.
Every doctor in surgery was a Skrull. Boom. Tony Stark couldn't go into surgery.
That's true.
Good.
Swap him out. Yeah.
Like it's a million Skrulls. You could get away with whatever.
If it hasn't been from the beginning, like if it hasn't been Rhodey's been a Skrull from the beginning, more than likely they're probably gonna explain that it happened during Civil War, like after the events of Civil War.
I think you gotta. I mean, it would be interesting. It would also like take away, not that we've had it in this show, which is something to talk about. It would also take away the need for any braces for his legs in the future because spoiler alert, he never needed them. Never disabled. He was just not there. But that's something too that I know in Infinity War, and I guess in Endgame, I can't really remember him in Endgame. I remember Infinity War, he had like that Batman
like those
brace.
Robot legs. Yeah.
Right. And it was like on the outside of his pants. I guess the argument now is like, it's on the inside of his pants.
Yeah. Or it's like nanotech or something. Yeah.
To me, that's more of a red flag of Skrull stuff going on.
Yeah.
The Skrull was tired of wearing the robot pants. And he's just like, they're under my pants.
I had enough physical therapy. We're good.
But yeah, dude, I think I actually have come around quite a bit to Rhodey being a Skrull.
Yeah,
like, I'm kind of in on it.
I mean, I just watched the episode not even an hour or a little over an hour ago. Or finished the episode a little over an hour ago. And at first I was pissed because I was like they're not explaining any of this. Like, what has he been a Skrull this whole time, or was he kidnapped? And what happened? Where? But I'm guessing we'll hopefully get answers in either next week or the week after.
That's dude, I'm really curious what they're gonna do timeline wise. And I think I didn't like that he was a Skrull, but then when I had the idea that he was a Skrull Queen, I was like, now that's cool.
That's a pretty cool. Yeah,
he's literally worked his way up the ranks of the American government to be the president's right hand man.
Yeah,
and it's the Skrull Queen. Like that idea is
cool. I loved when he was talking to the president and he was like, "Did you drink a bottle of whiskey right before we go and do this meeting with the Russians?" He's like, "Huh?" I'm like, what?
I thought that was funny too because I was like, "Oh, he's probably not drunk because he's a Skrull or whatever."
Skrull, yeah.
They have 3 livers, they're fine, something like that.
Also, I know, like, bullets can hurt anybody, but like, you figure a bullet probably couldn't hurt an alien. I don't know. Like, I've seen so many alien movies where I'm like, is a bullet really gonna hurt an alien? Like,
I think it does. I actually think they did really well giving a scapegoat because when Galvatorix over there was getting shot, he's not going down because I'm going to give him a different name every time. He's not going down. And I was like, why isn't this bitch dying?
Yeah.
And then you see the Extremis stuff. I'm like, oh, right. Super Skrull. Like, so I kind of like that. It's like, okay, they're still mortal. Like it's just now we got Super Scrolls that aren't, but the regular ones are still kind of mortal.
Yeah.
You bullet in the head and they still die.
They just gotta get them really hot. Isn't that they killed
yeah, dude. I don't know how you could beat a Super Scroll, especially without a super. Well, I guess I mean again, we've already said it. They're gonna have 2 Super Scrolls fight, which could be cool.
Yeah. Isn't that how they killed what was his name? Aldrin Killiach or whatever, the guy that made
you're 100.
And just like they like made him really hot and he just exploded.
Because shoot, what's the woman's name?
Pepper Potts.
Pepper Potts. Oh my god. Need to watch Iron Man. Pepper Potts like steals an Iron Man arm, blows him up, then throws a missile at him, and like blows him up again, and he just essentially disintegrated.
Oh,
so that was
I always forget about Iron Man 3. It's an easily forgettable movie.
I still remember. Shout out Owen. Nick and I talk about all the time if we're watching a Marvel movie. Be like, remember when Owen saw Iron Man 3? He goes, it was better than the Avengers. I love him to death, but that's maybe the funniest thing I've ever heard.
The Avengers was like our Empire Strikes Back, you know what I mean? Like, or like, you know, something, or our Star Wars. You know, like it was like that's like one of those movies where you're gonna be like, I was in theaters for that.
I was there.
You know, like
I was
like
there
that and Endgame. Like I was there opening night.
Shout out.
Better than Avengers. Did
you get through the wormhole? That kid is one of the creepiest mother effers of all time.
Oh, speaking of kids, all
right, kids.
Speaking of kids in Iron Man 3, the kid in Iron Man 3, is the kid from you ever seen Insidious?
Yes, I did not realize that until the most recent movie trailer I saw.
Yeah,
because he's in college now, and I'm like, oh, I recognize him now.
Me and Kayla saw the new Insidious on Monday.
Oh, it's out. I didn't know it was out.
Yeah, it's out. Yeah, it's pretty good.
I've definitely seen the second one, but I don't remember it. I
only
remember the first one.
It only follows the first 2. 3 and 4 have nothing to do with that family.
I didn't know there was. So this is technically 5.
This is technically 5.
Oh, I thought this was the third one.
Technically, it's 3 because 4 and 5 have nothing to do with
that works for
family.
Me. That works for me.
You don't have to. 4 and 5 mainly follow the medium lady, the like the psychic lady. Or
yes,
not 4 and 5.
I do.
3,
that's
3
like it's like the lock and key or something.
Yep,
I do remember that coming out. Actually, now that you say that, they're prequels, I think technically, right?
Yeah, they take place before all.
Yeah, because she totally dies in 1.
In 1, yeah.
See, I've seen them.
Yeah, I've seen. But no, that's the kid. Long story short, that's the kid from Iron Man 3. And I was like watching it, and we rewatched 1 and 2 before we went and saw 5, and I was like, why does this kid look so familiar? Like he looks really. And I put it in. I was like, oh my god, it's kid from Iron Man 3, and he was in Endgame, like at the end. When, he was that kid where everyone was like, who the fuck is that? Like, I remember sitting there like, is that supposed to be like a young Avenger coming up soon?
I remember having no idea, and Valerie leans over and goes, I think that's the kid from Iron Man 3. I was like, no way.
No,
on my life, she leans over and says that in the theater. I'm like, no way.
Turns out she was right.
Fucking Valerie, classic. I actually think Owen, speaking of the devil again, I actually think he showed me the first Insidious.
Oh, really?
I forget when that came out, but I'm pretty sure he came over with that.
It was like
DVD.
a high school. I would, yeah. It was like a high school when that came out, yeah.
So I'm pretty pumped to see the new one. I like Insidious.
Yeah, it was good.
So,
yeah.
I don't know if I have anything else to say about the roadie thing. I'm in. Again, like that's something I'm kind of in on. Like
I'm interested to see where they go with it. And you know, I'm just learning about this Scroll Queen thing, so that's interesting.
Okay.
And it makes more
not too like spoilery.
No, and it makes more sense that that Scroll was a woman.
That's that's the thing is right. Like I feel like that's a.
It's like if you read the comic, yeah, exactly, yeah, you're like, okay, that's the Spider-Woman of this,
right? Series. Like for someone who doesn't know about the Scroll Queen, it might have just been an interesting, like, oh, okay, a woman is playing Rhodey, like that's interesting. But for me, I'm like, this bitch,
Scroll Queen,
bitch.
That's the bitch.
I only have one other thing to talk about. So I don't actually have any other personal thoughts, opinions on the show. I think I've been pretty upfront with everything.
Yeah.
I have one more thing.
One quick, just like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Hilarious that Shooter McGavin is a
oh my god,
Fox News host and a scroll. Oh my god, hilarious!
I
saw him. I was like, That's the only person I could imagine as a scroll being a Fox News host. Like,
I also love that his whole bit is saying the most outlandish thing, and it's the truth.
yeah,
Like that. Like I think he was the one that was like, he was like, there's aliens amongst them and they're taking over. And it's like someone watching Fox News would be like, all right, shut the heck up, right?
Yeah.
But it's like, no, he's actually saying the truth.
Yeah,
because it's so outlandish they won't believe him. And I thought that whole thing was great.
pretty good.
It was literally like they made Trump the news host essentially.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Right?
Yeah. He was like a Tucker Carlson type person or something.
Very cool.
One of those. Yeah.
I agree. Very funny. And well,
perfect casting.
Yeah. It was that. It was great. I enjoyed it a lot. So the only other thing I had to say was, and I definitely saw this theory somewhere else, and I'm curious if you have heard this, if you think about, you agree with it. I'm actually going to try and watch the whole show again before next week, so I can try and piece this myself.
Yeah,
there's a theory going around that there is 2 Nick Furies on the show. Like consistently, we've seen 2 Nick Furies.
I like it.
And the tell is, so like I'm looking at the Disney Plus page right now. The real Nick Fury is, I mean, I don't think it matters which one's the real one, but one of the Nick Furies is when he's wearing just the beanie, and the other Nick Fury is when he's wearing the glasses. They're two. It's very distinctly. He's either wearing these glasses or he's either wearing this beanie.
And when Gavatron was disguised as Fury, he was disguised as him with the glasses on.
Right.
So
that's a tell that, like, obviously the scroll could be Fury.
Yeah.
Now the question is, if that's true, again, on a rewatch, that's going to be really cool, being like, okay, who is talking here, Fury or not Fury? Like, okay, especially with Talos, right? Like, which Fury is Talos talking to, Fury or the scroll Fury?
Yeah.
I also, there's a theory of who the scroll would be, which I think, if it's a true theory, is 100% accurate. Do you want to hear that?
Yeah.
I truly think that's the spoiler. Like, it's that good of a theory. The theory is it's Talos' wife. She's not dead, and she's playing Fury.
She's playing, she's part of the resistance, or
that's
she's
the question.
Doing that to be close.
And
to Talos.
I don't have an answer. I don't have a theory. I have nothing. Is Skrull Fury helping Fury or not? Like, is he like, I need someone to be there, so because I can't be 2 places at once?
Yeah.
Or is it like someone else is just also impersonating him while he's there?
I don't know. I feel like it's the first option, because I feel like he would know if someone. You know what I mean?
Fury move.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's something Fury, like, hire a scroll to impersonate him so he can be somewhere else, and like he did he did that in No Way Home. Yeah, or not No Way Home. Far From Home.
Far From Home.
He had Talos impersonate him, so who's to say his wife couldn't impersonate?
And I think that's I mean, we know a female scroll can be a male, can be a man. Exactly. We know that now. I think too, if this theory is correct, we're gonna find out in episode 5. We're gonna start off with Talos' body. We're gonna have Fury looking over him, and then another Fury walks into the room, changes into his wife, or the one over his body is his wife and changes it. Like, I think we're gonna get. I know I called it in episode 1. We're gonna get, like I said, we're gonna get 2 Furies walk into a room. Yeah, I think that's what's gonna happen.
So 2 Furies and a Skrull walk into a room. No. No, I totally, I'm 1000% up for that in the show. Like, and I would not be disappointed. That would, and like I said earlier, talking about it and everything has repositioned my opinion on the show.
Yeah, I was actually gonna wait to say that too, dude. Talking about this today has really made me appreciate the things I like about it more.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I still have my gripes.
Yeah,
but I really like, if I go to rewatch this. Or not even that. Let's find out there is 2 Furies.
Yeah.
That just made the whole show rewatch factor up 100%.
So much better. Yeah.
I'm absolutely gonna rewatch
I
it.
also think that could be a possibility because there are scenes. Now it's subtle, and it also could have just been the lighting in my house and then my TV. But there are scenes where Fury is kind of has a green shade of on him, like a green hue.
See,
And it's not
shit
all the
like that.
time, but it's
I
like
like that.
sometimes. And I was like, is this hinting to something that like he's like because usually like directors and stuff like that will use color to
Artistic
yeah,
preference.
yeah, to
Like
portray
the Gwen Stacy stuff in Across
yeah,
the Spider-Verse.
yep, exactly, yeah. So
Yeah, dude.
I that
Like something, I don't know if this actually happens, but this would be an example, is like in the first episode when he goes to take the walk at night and everyone's like, don't take a walk, that's stupid, you're in Russia, you're a black man, blah blah blah. If he was like taking a walk in that scene and like a green light flashes on him, that to me is the tell that he's a Skrull.
Yeah.
You know, like a green street light starts flashing and it's like right over him and he's just standing there. To me, that's the show being like, this is the Skrull Fury.
Skrull Nick. Yeah. Yeah.
See, now I truly think I'm gonna try and rewatch it before 5, the whole show.
I honestly might as well because I everything's starting to blend together because I watched all 3 of them today or the 2, 3, and 4 today. But yeah, I do really like that idea. I think
pop a bottle of wine, crack a few bears, just be like, Skrull Fury.
He's green. There's green nearby. There's like he's near a plant. It's like oh he took out a pack of wintergreen gum.
It's venomant. He's illegal venom.
He's an 838.
He's an 8. Oh boy, that's great. I love how I've talked myself back into this. Like I'm in. Let's just fucking do it.
I was literally before dinner, or after dinner, whatever it was. I was talking with Kayla, and I was like, oh, I watched the new episodes of Secret Invasion. She goes, how was it? I was like, dog shit. Like I was like, this show is dog shit. And then I was like, it is a piece of shit. And then I started thinking about it. I'm like, okay, there actually were some redeeming qualities in the show. The acting's really good. The action's really good. There are some good twists and turns so far. But overall, I think right now, not the best time for a show like this. But needless to say, I am enjoying the ride now that I'm talking about it more. Mm-hmm. And it's way better than She-Hulk. So.
Yeah, I think our 2 main gripes, I think, are still the main issues. Yeah. You were correct. I think it's the wrong time for this show. And then I still stand by it should have been a movie. I think if you change those 2 things, this could have been a like 8.5, 9 out of 10. Yeah. Like, if this was released, oh my God, like right after Far From Home as a movie, or dude,
because that even would have made sense too.
This was the first movie after Endgame.
Yeah, no, I mean
that would have been
either way. Awesome. It would have made sense because at the post-credit scene of Far From Home was Skrulls. So why not have that? Because like we had Far From Home, and then now 3 years later we're getting more Skrull stuff. Like,
well, and that's the crazy thing is that was absolutely a teaser for Secret Invasion, and it took that long to get here.
It's like you lost my interest
5 years ago.
Yeah.
When the Marvel universe moves quickly, that loses interest.
Yeah.
Like that needed to be like the next year.
Yeah.
I agree. So again, I commend what people have done on this show between the actors, the directors, stuff like that. I stand by bad time. Could have been a movie. And I feel like that's been our consensus, at least your opinion, has our consensus with a lot of the Disney Plus things. Like, Kenobi would have been a better, I mean? Like, a lot of these shows would have been better as movies. Like, Kenobi would have been a better movie. Book of Boba Fett probably could have been a better as a movie, or just not existing at all. Just fucking dump it.
Just dump it. Just dump it. You know what? Dump it. But yeah, no, that's all I got.
I think that's all I got too. I'm excited for episode 5, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm excited to see where they go, whether we get that double Fury action.
What's the best part is we also just kind of hyped up theories, which when that doesn't work out means we're gonna get let down and then it's gonna suck. So it's gonna be one or the other. These Disney Plus shows have been known to
really be shitty the first couple episodes, and then that penultimate episode is when like shit hits the fan. You
Yeah.
know, so
That's what there's gonna be a montage. It's gotta be amazing. And you know what? I've already talked it into existence, so I'm gonna say it. It's gonna be a montage of Fury and fake Fury, like back to
yeah.
back. Like this one's the real one, this one's the fake one. It's
Here's what the real Fury was doing while the fake Fury was doing this, and vice versa, and yeah.
although I will say if they do that, I hope they don't show everything because again, I want to be able to rewatch it and be like, okay, so that's
Oh,
why he
this
was a
person.
scroll.
Yeah, yep.
Okay, that's why he was a scroll.
I'm totally down with this
In.
theory. I like it. I like it.
All right.
All right, yeah.
Soka next, so watch
Yeah.
that.
Watch that. That'll be good. So, yeah, that'll do it for episode 38. We'll catch you on the next one.